Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 242 of the J Situation Podcast. I'm recording this on January 1st, 2025. Oh my goodness, it's 2025. That happened pretty quickly. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season with your loved ones. I hope this year brings you many blessings and good health. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a minute. I have got a special treat for you. As most of you know, we do a lot of internally funded research, and sometimes we publish it. There have been several folks really asking for B&T test data and analysis. It's been interesting. And some of the folks asking are dealers, and every once in a while you'll get the odd consumer who asks as well. Part of the trouble is there are so many dang models from B&T. And there's actually a running joke about that. I'll get into that during the main talk, but suffice to say, they have a bunch of models, okay? So we figured, hey, what's a good place to start? How about supposedly one of the quietest things they make? Excuse me. You know, that should be good for everyone, right? To set expectations. Yeah? So, Pew Science actually bought a Station 6 with the included wiped silencer and also the training silencer like a while back, like several years ago. We purchased that. And so today, you're going to get all of that data and analysis with a gigantic article, all funded by members, all funded by you guys, and this is supposed to be one of the quietest things they make. So don't kill the messenger on this one, guys, okay? People wanted B&T, and so here we are. You're getting it, okay? And just for the record, we were just as surprised about the performance as you're going to be when you see it. Trust me, okay? We are silencer people at the end of the day. And we do hear the marketing just like you at the end of the day. So sometimes when things differ from marketing, we react like you do. Now on with the show. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. We are so glad to have you. There are timestamps in the episode description for you to skip to wherever you would like. In this one, there's only going to be one because there's only one topic, okay? But if you want to hang around, just for a little bit longer, just humor me. I'm going to quickly speak about the companies who continue to make this podcast possible, even into 2025, which is pretty rad. So, the J Situation Podcast is proudly sponsored by Legion Athletics. Nothing you do, exercise, sports, really any activity is worth doing without consistency. If you want to be good at something, you have to do them all the time. Right? Legion Athletics can help you with that. They have whey protein, pre-workout, post-workout, vitamins, minerals, creatine, immune building supplements. Do they have everything you need? Probably not. But they do have a lot of things you need. Visit legionathletics.com. There's a link in the show notes. Use that link. It helps the show. It helps the lab. Use code word Pew Science when you buy stuff there. You get 20% off of your first order, which can be a lot. And then if you keep using that code, you get double points, which ends up being 10% off, which is a lot because you're going to keep buying stuff there because, who doesn't want to be healthy and supplement their hard work? Get strong. It's important. This episode is also sponsored by Silencer Shop. They've done a lot of great stuff for the silencer industry. Obviously, a lot for consumers, a lot for dealers, large and small nationwide. If you are looking to hold a lot of inventory, maybe you can't. Maybe you want to maintain low overhead. You're just getting started. Silencer Shop can help you out with their kiosk, things like that. You do your fingerprints and photos electronically. You cut down on errors. You simplify your silencer purchasing process. You get money back and guarantee. It's pretty good. You don't pay any transfer fees, no paperwork errors, just you and your silencer with no drama. It truly is silencer ownership simplified. This podcast is also sponsored by Top Gun Range Houston. If you're in the Houston area, please go see Kyle and his crew down there. If you're just on a business trip and you want to have some fun, go to Top Gun Range, 15-lane indoor shooting range, largest firearm rental fleet in the entire state of Texas. And not only can you rent the pistols, the rifles, the shotguns, the machine guns, you can rent silencers. That's right. That's a pretty big deal. Check out their rental inventory on their website, topgunrange.com. Hell, give them a call. They'll be happy to explain the most up-to-date information. Find them on Instagram at Top Gun Range. They love the memes. Send them stuff. They're cool. I promise. No, they're actually like, they're real gun guys and girls, which is, if you can believe this, somewhat rare nowadays. I know. This episode is also brought to you by Capital Armory. Good folks down in Texas here. It's no secret that silencers are in high demand right now. And you know what? Approval times are pretty quick. All this is creating a recipe for you as a consumer to need options. And you know what? It's interesting. In the article you'll see published today, you're going to see, hey, I put a link in the article for you can buy the Station 6 at Silencer Shop. But guess where you can buy the training silencer? Not at Silencer Shop, apparently, but you can buy it at Capital Armory. You see what I mean, Jelly Bean? You guys need options. Like, don't pretend that there's only one place to buy silencers. That's stupid. And anyone who tells you that is lying to you. And we don't lie to you, okay? That would be bad and dumb. Also, Capital Armory has a pretty unique twist. Not only do they have a large selection of silencers, help you with the paperwork, all that jazz, they can actually ship your silencer directly to you. Yeah, that's right. So if you live in one of the 42 states where silencers are legal, you can order a silencer in your living room and have it shipped directly to that same living room, which is nuts. It really is that easy. Capital Armory, silencer shipped directly to your door. Finally, this podcast is brought to you by the Pew Science Laboratory. I'm the technical director of the lab, and in the interest of public education, we have chosen to continue to sponsor and do this podcast for years now, and also run a public research effort. Unlike most laboratories, there's a couple in the world that do it. We are one of them. We run a public research effort, and we continue to push the silencer industry forward one test at a time. Visit pewscience.com for the suppression rating. It's the simplest, most accurate hearing safe rating for your suppressed small arms. It's based on true human inner ear response of the entire gunshot from before combustion takes place all the way until all the combustion is gone. And Pew Science continues to be the home of the silencer sound standard. There are 7 sections, the most in-depth and accurate silencer data analysis in the world, all available to the public 24/7 at pewscience.com. That's right. And you can support all of this world. Support the podcast, Pew Science, all the public testing, the lab, by joining with the membership at pewscience.com. Big ups to the folks who just joined in the new year. Oh my gosh, it's so great to see. Thank you so much. It helps so much. There's a donate feature on the review page and the podcast page. I saw a donation come in today. It's a random, hey, here's a donation. I said, thank you, sir, or ma'am. It's amazing. And you know what? Something that's free, doesn't cost you anything. If times are tight, this strange economy's got you down. Your calls or puts aren't printing, as the kids say, on the Wall Street bets. You don't have to spend any money. You can just give this podcast a good rating on Spotify or iTunes or YouTube or Facebook, or wherever the hell you find it. We're shadowbound on Instagram. So maybe you I don't know, tell all your buddies to follow our accounts on Instagram. That'd be cool. That would help. You know what I'm saying? Normalize the use of suppressed small arms. It's awesome. So I got one topic for you today. And you guessed it, it's about the B&T silencer. It's going to be, you know what? What we'll do is, because there's one topic, and I'm just not trying to make this super long, we're going to start it at a time of 8 minutes and 37 seconds. Okay, topic 1, sound signature review 6174. That's crazy. The B&T Station 6.9 with the wiped 6.9 silencer and the training 6.9 silencer. 2 tests in one. I'm going to kick off 2025 here with some B&T action as requested. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it not the B&T silencer you wanted to see? Okay, well, tough cookies. Is it quiet? Well, you'll have to be the judge of that, sir or ma'am, I guess. I will say that old technology does not create miracles all of a sudden. It does not happen. Maybe that's a good or handy axiom. Maybe we use that axiom to kick off 2025. Old technology doesn't create miracles all of a sudden. What is that controversial to say now? Is someone going to get mad? Am I thrashing? Am I going to make someone angry? So this is the introductory discussion for this extensive paper that's published today with the podcast. Well, not today on the 1st, but tomorrow on the 2nd of January. 2025th year of our Lord. You will get this. Okay. Member funded. This is so expensive. You don't even understand. What you think? Oh, because the gun was expensive? No, that's not why. 1 second. Hold on. Okay. How are you guys doing now that we're done with this intro? So, guys, I have been sick since mid-November. Have you ever had mono is my question. I am told a lot of people get mono when they're children. Let me tell you, if you get it as an adult, God help you. Sincerely, I don't know what to tell you other than it's horrible. Makes the flu and COVID seem like a light breeze. Yeah, dude. Just when you think you're okay, you're totally not. And it'll come back if you're not totally okay, which you're not. So that's been fun. Other than that misery, though, holidays with family have been great, really, and Christmas was great. New Year's was very positive today, I thought. Very positive things happening. Some testing actually got done, too. Hey, it takes a village. Pew Science team is... what do they say? What's the saying? Ride or die. There you go. Pew Science team, ride or die. Some great testing got done. And hey, if you're a client who's listening, yes, your systems have been tested. No, I have not told you yet. So I'm telling you right now, publicly, I'm still on vacation. So relax. You're not going to get an email yet. Next week. Maybe I'll email you earlier, but I'm still on vacation. So technically, this B&T thing, right? Okay. People are going to hate me right now. That's okay. People asked us, hey, can you test the B&T SRBS ABCQ123 revision 6R9? I'm joking, obviously, kind of. And we looked into that, right? Like, obviously, we listened to people. Like, we take feedback, like, from email, from our members first. And, from random astroturfing bot accounts or astroturfing alt accounts of manufacturers and dealers on the internet, which, of course, you guys know there are those. You think all the people asking us for testing publicly, like, are consumers? Oh, you sweet summer child. This industry. You think it's changed in 30 years? Because it hasn't. So, yeah, we know, dude. We know who you are when you talk to us. Like, don't play with us. Anyway, we got the requests, and, we get it. So we looked at all the things, and, it's interesting. And I'm going to say some stuff. Look, this is the first podcast of the new year. Everyone's still on vacation. You guys are having a great time. Let's just be honest with each other, right? Just gather around the campfire. Guys, if you are new to silencers, you may not realize this, but B&T is not an American company. Do not like fall into this like trap here. They are a Swiss company who has made pretty rudimentary silencers for a very long time, and they opened an affiliate called B&T USA in Florida so they could make stuff here. Why would they do that? Well, it's a pain in the butt to export silencers from Europe to the United States. Like, you can do it, but you're not going to like create a viable business selling them. Okay? Like, I'm not saying anything controversial. I'm telling you reality. Okay? If that upsets you, well, reality might be hard for you to deal with, and they have medication for that, or therapy. I don't know. Really, my point is here, I need you guys to take a deep breath and realize, like, we know who B&T is. This isn't B&T is like not a new company in the scene. Okay? Like, every single silencer nerd that has been around for this stuff for the past few decades is acutely aware of what B&T technology is capable of. Don't try to like if you're new to the game, like, welcome. We are super glad to have you in silencers, and the more the merrier. And the silencer industry is growing every day with new companies and dealers and consumers and distributors. It's amazing. The more the merrier. What an amazing time to be into silencers. If you're any of those parties, whether you're on the design or manufacturing side or the consumer side, everyone should be here. Everyone should be included. Amazing. But don't pretend that this is some new company. It's not. Okay? Okay. So, now then, not to appear cynical or to cause a political problem or an international incident, which might have already occurred, don't care. Like, the great thing about Pew Science is we're independent, so it doesn't matter at all what you think about what we're doing, because we're not controlled by anyone. To prevent problems, I would like to acknowledge and say, I know, like me personally and just the collective, we know that it is likely that even a company like B&T has innovated in recent years. I can acknowledge that that's a possibility. That's a reasonable assumption, and I don't think anyone would scoff at it. It's reasonable to assume that they have certainly innovated over the years. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. But I will, with the benefit of the doubt, say that could happen. Could have happened. Okay, cool. It is likely to keep up with certain user requirements that their designs have advanced. I would say that's likely. That's a positive thing. Okay, so I concede that to be likely. It's not out of the realm of possibility, and for all intents and purposes, it may very well be true. Okay. And, there are a lot of silencers that we haven't shot. A lot of models we haven't even seen in person. There could be some amazing stuff out there. You never know, man. A company could come out of nowhere tomorrow that has a whiz-bang model that performs and knocks your socks off. It's happened a few times. We've seen it. Same thing could happen from B&T, like tomorrow. You never know. Totally reasonable. Totally reasonable to think that could be possible. I see no reason why it could not be possible. Now, I'm going to say something else. And I would ask that you use the context I'm giving you here that I just said, so don't take this quote in isolation. Don't pretend I just said this and didn't say all the other stuff, okay? So I would ask that you use this contextually and reasonably, and I would also ask that you use your patience, okay? The B&T Station 6.9 does not display any form of innovation in silencer design or technology past the 1990s, if not earlier. Okay? I'm telling you, there's nothing in this system that gives anyone any reason to believe any innovation has occurred in this particular system. Like, full stop, objectively true. No emotion. Okay? So I want to get that out up front. I don't want you to kill the messenger. I'm just stating facts, and this is a technical silencer research cooperative that is public. There's a public publication with member funding to do it. Right? We're an independent lab. We do not answer to anyone. Okay. I want to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you what we see. This is not like a cheap system you just pick up. All right, cool. Again, it could be there are newer things happening from B&T. I mean, I'm sure there are. I'm sure we'll get to them too. Please be patient. We are using member funding. We're using a lot of it to get this done. I do want to tell you, if you're new to this or you don't understand the gravity, it's extremely expensive to do tests like this and produce engineering analysis and calculations and articles like this. This isn't a cheap endeavor. So to give you some context, the article published with this podcast today is probably next to the Knights Armament PRT article we did. It's one of the most expensive projects in Pew Science history. All in. And it has nothing to do with buying the gun and the silencers, which we did. That's not a significant portion of the cost. Okay? That's peanuts, actually. I just want to give you a feel, just it's not like I didn't wake up and do this, be oh, this will be fun on a Sunday afternoon. No. Okay. It's not that type of situation. So a couple of years back, we bought a Station 6.9, which comes with a wiped silencer And we also bought the available training silencer separately, which has aluminum baffles. I think we spent a little over $2,000 for the whole thing. I don't remember. It's been a while. It actually doesn't matter. The reason we bought this whole system is because who doesn't want to understand how a spy gun performs? Right? Like, I put this in the article. B&T AG out of Switzerland says they made this series of weapons to dispatch cows and injured wildlife on the side of the road discreetly. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, we thought the weapon system was cool. That's our story. It looks cool. The premise is cool. I'm a silencer guy, and I love 9mm pistol silencers. If you know me, you know suppressed 9mm pistol silencers are my favorite systems ever, more than any other types, because I'm a strange person, I guess. You don't have to like them. I do. You're not me. I'm not you. My thing is 9mm pistol silencers and combat handguns. That's just my thing. I like them just for the gravity of them, what they can be used for, the utility, and for the love of the game, for the love of the silencer game. I'm a silencer guy through and through. It's one of the reasons I have now dedicated a large portion of my life to this laboratory and this research effort, and I'm cataloging it with a continuous research diary almost weekly and publishing it publicly for you to listen to. That's what this is, if you didn't realize it. So you look at this thing. It's a pretty niche system, right? It's a bolt action pistol. The silencer. It's so, we've had it for a couple years. We bought it a couple years ago, and a lot of you guys and girls have requests that are way more topical and relevant than this, frankly, right? And frankly, the client requests to the lab have been pervasive, and so testing of this system got put on the back burner. It did for several years because you buy something and you're like, well, we're going to get to it. We have no deadline. We just thought it would be cool for IR for internal research, but you put it on the back burner. So last fall, there's a method to my madness while I'm explaining all this to you. Last fall, we had an opening. Was it fall? It's like end of summer. I don't know, whatever. Like third quarter last year, or maybe the first part of the fourth quarter, we had an opening. And we were doing a lot of pistol stuff. And I just happened to remember the Station 6. Like I had it in like the little black bag it comes in. It was like sitting next to the Mark 23. And its camo cool bag. Both interesting systems in their own right. And I'm so glad I remember the Station 6 because guess what? At the beginning of this wonderful holiday season, what happened? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. That someone offed a CEO in broad daylight in New York City with a suppressed 9mm pistol, right? I'm sure all of you have heard of it. It's been in the news. Crime. So I'm going to go on record. Crime is bad. Don't do crimes. That said, if you were going to use a suppressed 9mm pistol, if you were going to use one, there are definitely less appropriate nefarious applications than that case. Like, I would say that the perpetrator's choice of armament was not the worst for that situation. For that crime. Like, I'm not saying the crime is good. I'm not condoning it. I'm just telling you, like, his choice of armament, wasn't the worst choice. Like, he could have picked a way worse thing. Seems that his mission was successful in general for his, whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that, like pistol silencers have a use, and this was one of them. So anyway, the relevance here to this talk is that the NYPD, the New York Police Department investigative division there that was publicly talking about their investigation to the media, and purposely leaking information to the media, as they tend to do, they were saying that they believed that this perpetrator used a well rod analog And they specifically named the B&T Station 6. 6.9, as it were, because they find 9mm casings. I don't know. I actually don't know who gave them that bone to chase. Like, I don't know how they got that bone. I don't know who. I don't know who in the NYPD got the tip or the wild hair to believe that a Station 6 was used. They were obviously incorrect when looking at the surveillance video. And in the article that's published tomorrow here, I explain in great technical detail how the weapon is operated. If you're curious, if you've never used one of these, and look at the photo posted with the episode too, and you'll get a little feel for it. But read the article, you'll see like it's definitely not a conventional pistol. So the system itself, conceptually, is pretty cool. You have this rotating bolt that's actuated manually, right? You depress the grip safety on the top tang of the rear of the grip. You rotate the bolt by hand. You pull the bolt back, and then you reverse that order to like load a cartridge from the mag, right? And there's little idiosyncrasies and little Easter eggs about this gun that a lot of people get confused about because like a lot of people don't have it, right? The U.S. version, that we have and tested, it's a bit different than the Swiss VP9. It really is a bit different. So in the U.S. version, you can use 9mm 1911 mags, right? A single stack, that's nice, right? If you want to buy more mags for the gun, you don't have to get them from Switzerland, which can be relatively cheap. Like, I don't know if any of you had a B&T TP9 when they were first imported by DSA before B&T USA was like a thing. I did. That was a nightmare. So, and also the TP9 is a terrible, terrible weapon platform, but we can talk about that later. Another difference between the Swiss VP9 and the US 6.9 is that the US 6.9 does not have a ported barrel. And that's a major difference, right? Yeah, it completely changes the system, actually. On the Swiss VP9, the annular space between the barrel and the pistol frame can hold vented gas from the barrel, and then the proximal O-ring that seals these silencers to the frame body actually seals that space with that silencer, just like it does on these, but like it's actually more important for that one. So really, it's the same O-ring seal kinda on the US version, but again, the US version doesn't have a ported barrel. And so on the one hand, that kind of sucks because it's not an integrally suppressed pistol, right? But it's actually a little cooler because the US version allows you to use your own direct thread silencers because it's threaded half 28. Yeah. So you can on the US version, it comes with the wiped silencer with the O-ring seal and stuff, which looks cool, but you can put any silencer you want on it really within reason. So that's actually a baller feature if you have one of these guns, because let me tell you something, kids. The 6.9 silencers from B&T are not really that quiet. Yeah, I don't know how many marketing articles that I've read calling this thing the quietest system ever, but it's annoying to me because it's a lie. And those are lies. They look, they could be innocent lies. Like for example, the people saying that they could be misinformed, or maybe they shot the gun and they're just not experienced with actual high performance 9mm pistol systems. I don't know why they say that what they say. I'm kind of done wondering why. But if someone tells you this is Hollywood quiet, you need to run the other way, man. I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing that elicits that. I mean, sure, the shooter's ear suppression rating with the wiped silencer is relatively high. But go shoot it and you tell me if you think it's Hollywood quiet, because that muzzle suppression rating, oh boy. Why don't you go read the article and look at the extensive test data that we acquired and analyzed. More so than anyone has ever done. Guarantee you it's more than B&T has done. I guarantee you. I 100% guarantee you. Okay? So if someone's calling this Hollywood quiet, please just run the other way, dude. Spend the $2,000 or whatever it is and go see it for yourself if you want, or just read the article and don't spend $2,000 and just read it for free. Like, it's a free article. Like, read it. Oh, I don't care. We don't sell silencers. We don't design silencers. We don't make silencers. We don't sell silencers. That's why we say we're independent. Okay? So I don't care I really don't care, like, if you buy one of these. It does not affect our company. It doesn't affect me. And we already did the work. It's done. It's not going back now. We own the damn gun and the silencers, so I guess we could sell it, but we'll probably keep it. I think it looks cool. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool piece of history that they did this. But like, yeah. So for you Pew Science historians, this is actually interesting because like there's a lot to this that I'm not sure the gravity is going to sink in yet, but it will technically. This is actually the second wiped test we will have published in the pedigree. In the spring of 2021, we published a wiped test of the energetic armament Vox S on subsonic 300 blackout bolt action, and we did perform and publish the results from a 20-shot test. That's right. That's PewSoft power, baby. We did that, and that was the first, and I believe it remains the only high fidelity demonstration of wiped silencer physics ever publicly displayed in the entire world. I do believe that to be true. I don't think there's any high fidelity testing of wiped systems other than that. So to kick off 2025, we did again, but we did only 10 shots because of the 9+1, capacity of the system, and I honestly didn't feel like buying another 9mm 1911 mag. Because, like, why would I? just use an HK or a Glock or an FN. Like, what are you doing with a 9mm 1911? Come on, guys. Anyway, oh wow, gonna get some hate on that one. Look, I figured here's a real thing. I was figuring that if you have to shoot more than 10 shots through this weapon, like with the white, like if you have to shoot more than 10 shots through this, something has gone horribly wrong. Like, this gun is not for plinking. Okay, like, relax. Okay, you're not using this to shoot some cans. I mean, you might be. Like, it's not for that. So it seemed like a good idea, right, to do it like that. Like, in theory, do a 10-shot wipe test. Look, okay, just for a second, like, yes, you can plink with this. I'm joking. I'm not telling you how to use your guns. Like, don't freak out. So okay. Like, if you're new to the podcast, like, I'm not gonna like always say things you like. So this seemed like a good idea in theory. Do a 10-shot wipe test. Do a 5-shot training silencer test because it's a bolt gun, and that makes sense, right? 5 shots with the bolt gun. That's what we always do. Makes sense. And then we use 5 shots to compute the suppression rating in both cases. Per the standard, all is well, right? Like, that's like what we do. And it works out usually perfectly. However, and this is interesting, what we did not anticipate happening is something it's actually incredibly interesting, and we're going to go into it on the technical talk next week when we go in the deep dive for the article. Boy, howdy, did we learn a lot about multi-wipe systems in this project. The B&T wiped silencer that comes with this gun, it has 4 wipes in it. It behaves completely differently from a single wipe system, like the energetic armament Vox S with a single wipe in the end, or pick. If you don't like that, pick another one, like a Wolfman or whatever popular silencer that you can think of that you can add a wipe to with a single wipe. I am telling you that a multi-wipe silencer behaves completely differently. The physics are completely different. The suppression phenomena is completely different. Okay, so this is very cool. It's very complicated. I cannot wait to explain it to you next week. It's explained in the article, but we'll talk about it verbally next week. So that's cool. Oh, also, something else we're going to talk about next week is the training silencer performance, right? Because, hey, you got to know how it performs if you're going to be training with it to save your wipes, right? And that's the purpose of it. Like, you know, because it's the same size as the wipe silencer, so it's like interchangeable. I don't know how much it costs. I don't remember. It can't be that much. It's just like it's a typical B&T aluminum tube with typical B&T aluminum baffles. Like it can't be that expensive. If I know B&T, it's like a scale thing. So at least in their new operations here. So stands to reason you would want to know how the training silencer performs. Sorry. Look inside one of these things, right? And I think you know what I'm going to say. Like all of you old school silencer people are going to know, dude, there are star baffles in there. And I'll just say it, their B&T goes again, machining baffles like Knight's Armament used to crimp them. Like this is U.S. ingenuity once again, pervasive worldwide. The U.S. coming out on top once again. USA, chant it in the streets. Like I'm being obnoxious on one hand, but on a serious note, like I did put a historical anecdote in the article in a couple of places, so we don't lose history. Okay, like history is important, especially when we're building the greatest silencer performance research pedigree in the universe. Like I'm not just gonna like lose pedigree, like of where this stuff's come from too. Like yeah, there's research pedigree, but there's also like there's some like we don't list every patent of every product that we analyze, but guys, at a basic level, like if you don't know that the star baffles and B&T silencers are machined versions of like the crimp cone from Doug Olson, like you need to know that. And if it's not written down, people are going to forget it. And then next thing you know, you got stuff happening and people are like saying that something this and something that. And nah, man, we got to have a complete picture. So I figured like I've done it before with certain things that were historically significant. And I think doing it again is prudent. If it makes you upset, well, hey man, I don't know, call Trey Knight and talk to him about it. He'll probably tell you all about it. Oh, I almost forgot the joke I was going to tell you. So there's this running joke in the silencer industry. And look, I'm just having fun. Just relax. And the funny thing about this joke is that everyone seems to have thought of it on their own. It's one of those jokes where like everyone kind of thought about this joke on their own, completely independently. And every time someone tells it, like everyone nods in agreement and laughs because they literally thought of it themselves. And they're like, oh my God, I thought about that too. So here's the joke. So my theory is, and again, a lot of other people's theory is the same. The theory is that B&T has like one engineer, right? And they keep them chained up in a crawl space under the stairs. You know, like they have this guy physically chained to a chair, like restrained with heavy steel chains. But hey, they keep him well fed. They probably give him really nice Swiss chocolate, like kind of like the guy in The Simpsons. You remember that guy, all jolly? Like the dude's comfortable, is what I'm trying to say. He's treated right, like well treated. Like other than the slavery bondage, like fine. But he's comfortable. He's well fed. Probably has a good AC system. Anyway, so every once in a while, the door flies open, right? Like to this like chamber under the stairs. And this B&T guy like leans his head in, like sometimes with like a drawing on the piece of paper, sometimes not. And this guy, he yells really loudly, like either in German or in French or both, design this now. And he gives the guy a design and he leaves. All right. Like that's our theory as to why there are a million different SKUs from B&T USA. Obviously, I can't verify this. Like, I don't know if that's true. But, sir, if you are under those stairs and you hear this, create some kind of signal device in one of your 100-character device serial numbers. We will decode it. We will rescue you. We will come get you. We will. We might even use a Station 6. I don't know. Stay strong. Don't eat too much chocolate, although I bet it's really good. The Swiss have incredible chocolate. My watch is a Swiss. Hey, Swiss make great stuff, right? That's the joke, but I don't know. It could be true. Thanks, guys. No, thank you. It's good to be back for 2025. I'm obviously still sick. My voice is going. I'm feeling better, but, it's a process. Hey, check out the article. It's pretty wild. It took a while. It took a while to do this. It's probably, and I will say this for you physics nerds, if you're actually into physics, especially compressible flow, and especially dynamic structural blast response, this is probably one of the most technical articles we've ever put out. There's some stuff in here that I really do not think has been technically described in open literature, and I'm kind of proud about that, because I think this is a great opportunity to show it, and comparing and contrasting the thin single wipe behavior to the thick multi-wipe behavior with subsonic ammunition is such a treat. And I would love to do a treatise on it later, like an additional thing, but we ran out of time. I think this is great for a member article. What more could you want on this? Hey, the free version's for everyone. I just thought that would be cool for everyone to see, especially given the contextual nature of this system. So given that it's very technical, I do want to remind everyone, starting here at 2025, that our policy at Pew Science has not changed. Our policy is to always raise the bar, and that a rising tide raises all ships. We do not teach to the lowest common denominator here. We continue to raise the bar, and you got to catch up, and you will. Okay, because you guys are wicked smart at this point. So we're going to be back with a technical discussion next week. I would ask sincerely that you have fun, you stay safe, enjoy the rest of your holiday vacation. Hopefully you're on it, and I will talk with you folks again soon. Check it out in the morning. All right, bye.